This video is specifically for those of you that want to break 90. I'm going to be talking about 4 different aspects of your game, ranging from your golf bag to how you play the game on the golf course, that will definitely contribute to you not only just breaking 90, but consistently breaking 90. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. I hope this video can help you with your game, not only just short term, but long term as well. If you would like a swing analysis from myself completely free of charge, all you've got to do is download the Skillest app, follow me on there, and with that you will be able to avail of a free swing analysis. The link is down in the description below. Also, please do hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference to the channel, and you can click the bell for notifications and YouTube will tell you when I'm releasing new content. The first thing we're going to talk about in today's video is equipment. I have got 2 very different clubs in my hand now, albeit one is a 6 and one is a 7-iron. We'll bypass that for the moment, but they are completely different in size, as you can see. So in this hand, I have got a blade, a Wilson staff. These things, by the way, are gorgeous. Some of them, probably the most beautiful iron I think I've ever seen, and it's just that fresh out the wrapper. Now, if you're a golfer that's struggling to break 90, this is not the golf club for you, okay? This golf club has very little forgiveness. As you can see from the top edge there, it's very, very thin, which means the perimeter weighting on the club head, so toe and heel, don't provide you with much forgiveness. So if you were to hit the golf ball poorly from the toe or the heel, you'll lose a huge amount of distance. In comparison, if you've got something like this, is the Cleveland Zipcore XL, XL means massive head, then this is the one for you. It's a much wider face on the front. Also, it's a much thicker leading edge. So if you hit anything from the toe or from the heel, you will get more forgiveness. So you'll lose distance, of course you will. You will always lose distance from the toe and the heel, but you'll lose less distance. Also, what you'll find with clubs like this is the loft angle of the 7-iron will be stronger than the loft angle of what the Wilson would be as well. So stronger meaning, let's say, I think the Wilson is around about 36 degrees of loft. You'll find that this is around about 27, 28. So this will make the ball go further. Manufacturers want you to hit the ball further so you can hit less of an iron into the green. So no matter what level of golfer you are, being able to hit a shorter iron to the green will give you more likelihood of hitting the green, but also hitting a better shot, hitting a better quality of strike. So your clubs are important. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and get custom fit. It's a massive help. It would improve your game no end because you have clubs that are perfectly fit for you. But just from an absolute basic fundamental, make sure you have clubs that suit your level of golf. Right, now we're on the golf course. The most important thing here is club face control. Everyone gets very preoccupied with swing path, in to out to in, etc., etc. But you need a golf club face that is pointing relatively straight to target. You will find it more difficult to square the club face, to point that club face square to target at the moment of impact with a club like a driver, a hybrid, fairway wood, or a long iron. They're always the most difficult ones. Why? Because the golf swing is faster. It's more aggressive. You want to hit the ball further. Your timing becomes more difficult to get in sync with the rest of the club face as well. Whereas if you're hitting a wedge or something for a little bit more feel-based or accuracy-based, it's a lot easier to keep the face square. So I'm going to give you one simple drill that you can do for this. All you're going to need to know is a clock face. We're going to swing from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Trying to understand how the golf club works in this region of the golf swing. Really important, because obviously as the golf club comes down, from this point here, the toe of the club is up. So that golf club is effectively going to rotate to 90 degrees square to target. The hands are going to release the golf club down. We want a tiny bit of shaft lean, but not too much. And then we want this continuation of the rotation of the face through impact. And where you are at the moment of impact is impossible to gauge from shot to shot, but knowing the overall movement is really important. So I say to all of my students, forget trying to figure this bit out and understand where you are at this point. So try and get the toe of the club up to the sky, the butt of the club pointing back at your stomach, and your arms relatively straight. So that even if you've got an out to in swing path, you've got the body, I've over rotated, I've gone from out to in, I've got the butt of the club at my body and the toe of the club in the sky. If I'm too much on the inside, I'm more out to the right, but I've got the same theme. All right, so being able to complement your golf swing with the club face is hugely important. So what I would suggest, every time you even just warm up before you play, you're hitting golf balls into the net near the first tee, or if you're on the driving range, always start, grab a wedge, a 9-iron to start with, and go at like 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And make sure that we can see that nice straight ball flight. Then start moving up through the bag. So as you can see there, moving up with a 6-iron in this case, only hitting the ball 100 yards, but working on trying to control the club face the absolute best that I can. And that's the key, trying to get the face angle as neutral as possible. And how you will be able to gauge that is from where the start of the ball is. Right, once you've got the right clubs in play, you've got better control of the club face. You also need to be half decent around the greens. My rule for every single golfer is 1 chip or pitch and 2 putts. If you can do that, I reckon if you aggregated your score throughout the whole year, your scores would tumble. Actually, you know what? Mine would drop a little bit as well, because we all make mistakes. So I want you to try and get into the mindset of anything inside of 30 yards, 1 chip, 2 putts. And then once you get good at that, think about the 50 yard and the 60 yard and the 90 yard mark. And if you can start getting that ball onto the green within 2 putt range, because obviously proximity to the hole is key, then your scores will tumble. And that's what I really class as the quick wins in golf, because that's a lot easier than fixing the driver. I also want you just to get really good with 1 club. So in this case, I've got a 54 degree. And I want you to go onto the range and just really practice with this club 3 different swings. Use your left arm. Imagine it's pointing to 6. We're going to go 8, 9, 10. Get me 3 distances with 1 wedge. And then regardless of the distance that you've got to the pin, you'll be able to find your way onto the green. And I often think just once you've learned and got comfortable with this, a bit of improvisation over certain shots will help as well. So let's say 8 o'clock or approximately 8 o'clock. It's your 8 o'clock. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I'm always aware that my 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock is actually way longer than I think it is. So momentum takes me further. So my 8 o'clock, 54 degree, 33 yards. 9 o'clock, normally you start to see a little bit more wrist hinge in the 9 o'clock swing and a little bit more speed because you've got more momentum. And we pop that straight up to 70 yards. Go into a 10 o'clock swing, I'm expecting somewhere around 90. Because now I've got a lot more hip turn, I've got more leverage in my swing, more wrist, more body rotation. Wow, 90, nailed it. So I've got 33, 70 and 90 yards with 1 club. If I'm now, let's say for example, 50 yards from the green, you're like, I don't have that in my locker. Obviously, if you've got comfortable, you can practice with your other wedges and fill in some gaps. But what I would often try and do is speed up my 8 o'clock. I only need 10 more yards. If I just try and feel like I'm stopping at 8 o'clock, going a little bit quicker, that should get me closer. They are 45. That would be perfect. That will play. I'm on the green inside of 15 feet. So finding 1 club, 3 swings, 3 yardages, learning to improvise in between is going to be a hugely important asset for you within 100 yards or within 50 yards or whatever it may be, for you to be able to get that ball onto the green into 2 putt proximity. All right, last but by no means least, hybrid is next up. Such an important club. I'm going to guesstimate that majority players that can't break 90 will need these longer clubs more often, whether it be into the longer par 4s or the second shots for par 5. So these clubs may be called upon more regularly than you would probably like at this point. So we need to get comfortable with this. We don't need to flush it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Even if we find the heels and the toes and we get the ball gauging it some distance down there, you'll get a lot better. You don't need to find the perfect strike. You need to find a decent strike that's effective and keeps the ball in play. So we're basically going to be using club face control that we did in tip 1, 2 if you count it as the irons. And then in the last tip I just did, talking about the 10 o'clock swing, we're also going to incorporate that as well, because I want you to really feel body rotation, width, and don't get too overcomplicated with the technical aspects of this swing. So we're going to start with ball position. So if I've got that, this is in the middle of my stance, all I'm going to do is just push it ever so slightly forward, a club head's width forward from the center of my stance. That's where my hybrid ball position is going to be. I'm going to get my stance a tiny bit wider than the 7-iron, but nothing crazy. Don't overdo this. Less is better. So if you barely even move your stance from a 7-iron, I'd rather that than someone that came in doing the splits, okay? So less is better on that perspective. And now I want you to take that 10 o'clock swing and just feel like the golf swing is just a, oh, didn't mean to hit that. Just take that golf swing and just feel the width going around the body. Feel lots of width within the swing. You don't have to feel like the swing's going all the way around to parallel, loads of wrist rotation. I just want you to feel like you've got that longer 10 o'clock swing, you've got your body turning, you've got a natural bit of wrist hinge, you've got the width, and then you can turn the body through with power from there. This can even go at the start, this can even go your 6-iron distance, even though it's a 4 hybrid, and build up from there. Because what you'll find with this type of club, it's got the ability to hit the ball up into the air because of all the weighting in the head, the technology. The bad shots will be better. Build up from what I would call like a bit of a hybrid punt down the fairway, but making sure that you can just keep the ball in play. You might find that, yeah, this might only start off as a 6-iron distance, but it'll still be a hell of a lot more consistent with striking and outcome than the 6-iron. Then once you're comfortable, then you start to incorporate that longer feeling in your golf swing to get more distance. And then once you're comfortable with the quality of strike, you should be then relatively comfortable with the outcome of the shots. And then you're in and around that green, and you're into the region of going into that sand wedge 8, 9, or 10 o'clock golf swing. Being on the golf course for 4 hours is a really long time to concentrate and keep honed in. Really easy to get a little bit overexcited and try shots you don't need to try. Remember, the goal here is to break 90, not to break par. So play clever. If you're out of position, get it back into position, then play the hole from there. If you make a double bogey, it's fine, because I'm sure there's a hole on that golf course where you can make a par. So figuring out the double bogeys aren't horrendous, and they're not the end of the world, and you don't need birdies to back it up. You just need a par to get it back. That's the real key to this as well. It's being smart, playing the long game, because golf is a long, long day, as we all know. Guys, I hope this video has helped. Lots of nuggets of information there. You don't need to use all of them if you already feel quite competent with some aspects of it, but maybe take some of it into consideration. Test it, try it, implement it, shoot lower. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next lesson.